Ado Parlitas, my fellow true believers. Welcome. It is time for everyone's favorite Friday night Frontline featuring me, the Ernizzle, and his trusty sidekick, Monster Energy Drink. So, man, tonight, dude, I am so excited. I am mega hype. We got a lot of things we're gonna do today. I've been looking forward to the stream all week. So first we're gonna gamble, obviously. Got a new character, Centaureissi. So we're gonna do some gambling. If we get real good luck, we might do a little more than just some gambling. We might do a lot of gambling. How are you doing today, Willie? So after we do some gambling, we're probably gonna, I know I'm getting at least one new character today. That is set in stone. The question is which character it's gonna be. Probably Centaureissi, but maybe if we got some extra good luck to spread around, we're gonna get some Uldred in here too. So, but after we do that, we're gonna dive into, probably raise the character, max it out real quick, and then do the cafe mini game. If you guys haven't seen that yet, you are in for a treat. And then after that, maybe we actually like play the game. Maybe we'll do some expansion drills or something. I really wanted to do the what's it called? The new Gunsmoke boss that they're gonna have for tomorrow. But unfortunately, that doesn't open until tomorrow, and today is not tomorrow. Tomorrow is tomorrow, and today is today. So we are stuck not doing that. So let's hop back out of here. We have just an absolute metric ton of collapse pieces, which I'm sure there's going to be people in chat right now thinking like, but why don't you save for segment 6 Klukai? We're going to get to that later. That's probably going to be a topic for later because we got some news. We got a whole bunch of news that happened for both global server and for China #1 server. So I'm going to talk about all that. Well, actually, let's just talk about that right now. I know I'm kind of blue ballsing you guys as we look here at the gambling screen, but we got a couple new things happening for the global servers coming up. We got like our first little developer blog. I don't know what you want to call it, but like the Balin Island Shelter broadcast, whatever it's called. They essentially talk about like what's coming up in the game, and a couple of things that are happening that are going to be interesting, at least for this channel, are expansion drills, which are, so everyone's clear what I'm talking about here. Expansion drills are these things here, like the bi-weekly reset type thing. These are going to have a frenzy mode, which increases the difficulty up to, I think they said level 40. Now I don't exactly know what those difficulties are exactly, if it's like percentage increases, probably just percentage increases. But anyway, to get all the rewards for the new like overdrive mode or frenzy modes they're calling it, you only got to go up to level 18. So that'll give us something to do on streams. I'll be able to go up to level 18, hopefully with a relatively relatable team for you guys to copy. What else is happening? Oh yeah, so they also talked about they didn't confirm it, right? They just said that in the near future, units that have regional characteristics are coming soon. So they mentioned Yoki by name, which is K2 from GFL2. She's like the new Korean pop idol unit. She fits in like a physical team. She's like pure physical damage. She doesn't do any like elemental stuff, and she does like a lot of support abilities. She kind of like buffs like her buddies. So they said that these units were coming soon, but they didn't give a time frame, because then right after that they kind of contradicted themselves and said, by the way, the next character is, and then they showed the little Morse code, which everyone has like kind of decoded to be it's going to be HK416 or Klukai, which has started the Klukai Doomsday, as I'm going to call it, because Wow, I am not looking forward to that. Like, I'm looking forward to her as a unit. I am not looking forward to everything surrounding her release. So I'm just gonna kind of sit here and talk for another minute. I'm gonna see if anybody else wants to hop in the stream before I start gambling here, because I know some people always show up late to this thing. But yeah, so that's like the next upcoming patches for the global release server is going to be. As I said, they also kind of said people are kind of like question mark, like when they said regional characteristic weapons, are they referring to other like American weapons from GFL1? Like the original GFL1 unit that was branded after the global server was M200, right? The Shaytek intervention sniper rifle, the 360 no scope Call of Duty rifle that everyone knows it for. So there's like a bunch of question marks, like, are we getting, is that going to be one of the future units added, right? Is M200 coming back into the game? So that's, you know, up for debate. It could be anybody, right? There's a lot of relatively well-known like regional characteristic weapons, right? Like I would think like the Barrett. Who else? There's a couple other popular ones, like 1911, she wasn't very popular in GFL1. But pretty much everyone from the AR team, obviously, but they're more story related. So anyway, there's a lot of possible units, but they weren't really clear. So taking a page from Arknight's book, operators have regional accents, and some even have voice actors in Italian and German. Now that is interesting. I did not know that because I don't play that game, but that is actually kind of a cool touch. I want to say they tried to do that in GFL1. Some of the voice, I mean, even in GFL2, right? Like, where is it? Where's Mosin? She tries to have like kind of like a Russian accent, even though she's speaking in Japanese, which is interesting. So you know, they tried to do the regional accent thing, but I'd be interested to see if they. I don't think they're gonna do English voice acting anytime soon. I've seen a lot of people complain about that, but I have a feeling it's not gonna happen for a lot of different reasons. Mostly just I don't think the demand is there really. Getting English voice actors it's kind of a nightmare because there's a lot of bad English voice actors out there, first of all. So you gotta kind of be careful who you hire because it could kind of hurt your brand in a weird way. And in addition to that, it's like, do a lot of the people on the English servers even use English voices, right? Because I know in a lot of other games, like they just switch to JP voices. So it's like, who's this? This is kind of like a vanity project. Like if you got a lot of extra money and you want to have, you know, the bragging rights of saying my game is voiced in like 7 different languages, like I guess that's cool, but like does it really add anything, and is it really a good use of your development time? Which this game has plenty of things that it could use more focus on. So Willie's asking about how about Negev. I don't think Negev's ever coming back, ever. At least in her actual design. They would have to do a complete redesign of her. I think the geopolitical reasons behind that might be kind of clear, but there's a lot of tension with that part of the world right now. So I don't think her original design would fly even today. So it's possible they bring her back because I know she's relatively popular. It's just that they would have to start from scratch with her. They would have to like totally do a revamp of her design, and at that point it's like, is it even really the same unit? I mean, you just call her the same thing, right? She was kind of never really had a lot of personality. She was in like a couple, I think she only ever showed up in like some of the side stories in the night chapters in GFL1, like some of the nighttime missions, but that was it. So yeah, Willie's saying English VAs are not high on my list. I'm one of the only ones, or I'm one of those that uses JP. Yeah, me too. And not just in Hong Kong Star Rail. I use JP in a couple other games too. So, okay, but we've waited long enough. We're 10 minutes in, so anybody who's going to join had their chance. So, sorry, y'all have to just catch it on rerun. We are at a fresh 50-50 here. We got Deshevia. So, like I said, this is brand new, starting from... We got 5 pity, but almost starting from no pity. So if we do really good, we're going to try and grab Ulrid. I failed on her last time on the 50-50, but maybe this time will be different. So I fully expect this to not go well, in all fairness, because I've been having really, really good luck. And it's only a matter of time before kind of evens out. So, but let's see if we can keep the dream alive. As you can tell, I have quite a few tickets saved up, and no, to answer anyone's question right now, I'm not going for V3 or V6, segment 3 or segment 6 Klukai. So deal with it. I'll discuss that more in depth later, because that's like a whole topic that leads into the Klukai Doomsday that I was talking about. We're gonna skip this because this is just... We will be here all night if I click through all the blues. Yeah, segment 0 Klukai will shred. Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably end up talking about that later, because like I said, that is kind of like a huge topic. Oh, I got the G36, like the old budget ass looking one, which actually is pretty close to its real life counterpart. Oh, no way, dude, no way. Stop. No, dude. No. No. It can't be. It can't be. Do the rich keep getting richer? Is this how it works? Okay, alright. I thought we were gonna win the 50-50 too. I was gonna be on the moon. But getting our early 50-50 is almost as good. In fact, it's almost better. It is unfortunate that it's Sabrina, though, because eventually you're gonna max her out by doing the weekly boss, because you'll be able to get her neural fragments from that. Well, I'm not gonna skip, because there's always the elusive chance of the double 5-star. I had that happen to me one time and I freaked out. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, wasn't even paying attention. Okay, it's not. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it was Sabrina. It would have been nice if it was, well, Chongju is the obvious one. Even Tolol wouldn't have been bad. But, like I said, I cannot complain when you get it that early. What was that? Let's see. Oh, it doesn't. There's a delay on the update here. But that was like 20-something, because we're already 8 into the next one. So that was like, yeah, like 20-something in. Pretty damn good. Well, I mean, now we're just gonna see if we gotta go to the next pity, or if it's gonna be another early one. Give us Sabrina Mod 3 and GFL2, and my 1999 is yours. Yeah, I'm right there with you. She gets a relatively cool design for her Mod 3. They could just, there's a couple designs I could think would be really cool. But swimsuit design is not really what I had in mind. The Krolik. Oh damn, double Kroliks. Well, he says, tell me tactical skins won't sell on global. Well, apparently they won't, because they don't do them. I mean, I was like looking over the different skins that were available for our server and for the Chinese server, and I think there's like two. There's two skins that would qualify as like tactical skins. Or let me rephrase that. Two skins that are not either beachwear, lingerie, or dresses. So it's like, you know, we unfortunately we're the minority on this one. I mean, it is kind of. I mean, I would like more, but you know, like tactical skins. But I suffer through the non-tactical skins for the few moments when they get it just right, like 416's tactical skin and even UMP9's or Lena's, like her normal skin. We got another Nemesis, although we don't need that. Don't need either of these units, but that's okay. We get some of these little what are they called? Redundant pieces. On our way to another 5-star weapon. We're just gonna skip that. Another Nemesis. Is she even on the rate up? No, it's just she knows. So this is, I believe, the 10 pull where the odds start going up. So maybe it's this one. Hey, there it is. Well, I mean, the hype is taken away. We know it's going to be Centaureissi.
Centaureissi, ただいま参りました。本日の紅茶はいかがなさいますか、ご主人様。
Alrighty. Mission accomplished, boys. We have a new character. I did not get the 4-star version of her weapon, though. Let me double check that. Is there a way to double check that? Can I see if it's owned or not? Not this. We want the... I don't think I grabbed that weapon. So let me look here. No, I did not get the 4-star version of the weapon, which is fine because I have an extra planeta here ready to go for somebody. She'll probably end up using it. What's it complaining? Oh, it's complaining about skins unlocking. Let me see the 4-star version. Is it visibly different? Nah, not really. It's got the selector switch here. Is that not on the... Yeah, surprising. The 3-star version's like, nope, you only get to fire in one mode. That's kind of cool, though. It's a neat looking weapon. I like the compact version better, like the G36C. But it is a very iconic weapon. Well, so would that be considered good luck? Let's see, how many I got left now? 345 left. Let's go ahead. I think I would consider that lucky enough to go ahead and throw another 50-50 at Ulrid here, so I could complete the collection. Because despite what everyone says, I think Ulrid's kind of a fun playstyle. So what's on her banner? A bunch of nobodies. I already have both these units maxed, so let's go ahead and throw a 50-50 at Ulrid. And if not, then we're, quote, building pity. Because, like I said, the next character is probably going to be 416, so... Now the question is, can I get... Is it even... I don't think it's even possible to get the G36, the 4-star version of it, on her banner. Hey, can I even check? Yeah, it's not even listed. Womp womp. But that's okay. Oh yeah, dude, I'll definitely have enough for Klukai. I just it's just a question of how deep do we want to go in? Because I fully expect my luck to start running out in the near future here, and I have to think about other characters beyond just that, right? I mean, I know 416 is all you need, but I need to save up 1,000 tickets for segment 6 Lena. I'm just messing with you. I don't need that many tickets, but I do need to save up tickets because I know they're going to hit us with a lot of characters in the future that I really like. There's only a couple of characters that I kind of feel like are going to be passes for me, because if nothing else, I like to make character guides. So, like I said, Ulrid, I don't know if I'm going to do a character guide on her, but I definitely wanted to do one on Centaureissi, so that's why I kind of wanted to grab her. But let's keep going. What are we at now? We're like 30 in. We're 28 in, technically. Okay, no early 50-50. Oh, yeah, dude. That's the joke, is whenever someone talks about building pity. Dude, you're so right. That was always the ongoing joke. And then the best part is they talk about they're gonna build pity, and then they accidentally get a character, and they're like, "Oh no, it's reset." I'm like, "You're such a dum dum." Ah, did I get enough Robinsons? Jesus. But yeah, for anyone who is like relatively new to how this gambling system works and stuff, do not build pity. Only ever roll on a banner if you actually want that character. Building pity is a stupid idea. But I kind of want Ulrid, so whoop. Nope, no 50-50 early. Go away, Sharpery. Are we getting close to a weapon? Ooh, we kind of are. Do I just keep gambling until I can get the weapon? That's the other question. Why am I clicking through this? So we're already 24 minutes into the stream, and all I've done is gamble. All right, we are at... This is going to be soft pity on this one, so there's a good chance. Okay, 50-50. Are we lucky, boys? Are we getting lucky? Are we lucky? No, go away, Sharper. Get out of here. Are we lucky? God! Go, oh, what? Stop it! Two most annoying characters on the Elmo. Try this again. Are we lucky? Nope. But, I mean, we kind of are lucky because it's a character that I do actually want. Oh my god, what is with all the 4 stars on this? Talk about a cracked bull. Click through. Always gotta be careful of the lurking double 5-star. Damn. That was a really good pull. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 4 stars and a 5-star. Oof. Spicy. That's a lot of redundant. Oh my god, we're so close. We're so close to a weapon. Oh wait, I think I got a standard banner. We can use that. That is not my V3. That is actually V1 or segment 1. But I still have the selector, so technically it's segment 2 if I want it to be. It's just that her segment 2 doesn't really do anything. So I need to get one more in order to have her deal overburn. So Which AR is universally better? Jungjir is asking. Planeta or Golden Melody? That's a hard question to answer because so if you're not worried about their actual like ability, can I pull one up here? So if you don't care about this calibration ability here, they're going to perform pretty similar in damage, right? The difference is this is pure attack boost and Planeta is got a bunch of crit damage. If I can pull it up. Planeta's got a ton of crit damage instead, so you're trading 15% attack for crit damage, which depending on the character that can be better. Like someone like, for example, like Diane, who usually gets pretty close to maxed out crit rate, would probably just want the crit damage boost. But the attack damage boost or the attack boost is equally good. Really, it's going to come down to who can utilize the calibration ability better. So, like for example, this one obviously doesn't do anything if you don't get to do extra. I mean, it does because it builds it up. But the Golden Melody is the one that really doesn't do anything if you don't have a support attack, right? Yeah. So Golden Melody. I mean, sure, it's a flat 10% damage, which is solid. But if you don't do support attacks, you're missing out on a pretty big chunk of its ability. So that's really what it comes down to. It's like, can you do support attacks? Then Golden Melody is going to perform better. If you don't do support attacks, probably Planeta. If you just want a universally better stamp, I would say Planeta, just because it has a little more balanced stats, and you're not really subject to needing support attacks. But let's do, what do I got, 7 here? Let's do 7 individual pulls. I won't make you all watch that because that'll take a long time. But I need 1 4-star so I can get a new weapon. Inching closer. There we go. There we go. Now we got enough for a... oh, I might as well just do the other 4 as long as I'm here. 69, nice. Yeah, well, he's saying the purple QBZ is the general use rifle. Yes, you are correct. But just do keep in mind that if you have a 5-star, it will always 99.9% of the time outperform a 4-star. So if you have a Planeta and you have a 4-star QBZ 191, the Planeta is always gonna just outperform, even if you don't take advantage of its ability, just because its raw stats are so much higher. I mean, that's kind of like basic logic, right? Of course, the 5-star is better than the 4-star. I don't need to tell you that. So, so I'd like to have a moment of silence for Ulrid. This is the second 50-50 we did not succeed on for her. I will forever be Ulridless. We'll never know what it's like to use swords in a gunfight. So, you know, I pour one out for my homies on this. Because who knows when the next time her rerun banner is going to be. Because, yeah, I don't want to spend another 60 to 80 to possibly get her. Yeah, I have to think of the future, guys. I'm sorry. But we got a lot of stuff to do now. So, first thing is most important, we got to switch the banner. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Oh, I kind of don't like this. It's a really weird angle. What is, like, the commander like in the ceiling, like looking down on her? Whatever. So I do have a Microlic raised. She's not maxed out. She's 50 out of 60, but I have neglected her. I used her a bunch when the game came out. I used her a bunch when the game first came out, and I thought I was going to use her more to, like, help people with guides and stuff, and it didn't matter because nobody was using her. she's not bad. She's kind of awkward in certain fights. There's a couple things about her kit which make her kind of not fun to use. So let's go ahead and we'll raise this up and probably talk about some nonsense while we're doing this. What else do I have on my little checklist here? Okay, yeah, we got a whole bunch of news for the China #1 servers. Yugir asking, what if she's the next 10 pole? Yeah, I know, right? Oh, it's always what if. What if the next one? What if the next one? She had her chance. She had two 50-50 chances to show up, and she did not. So I'm sorry, but we're moving on. Now the question is, did I calculate this right, and do I have enough? I do. Look at that. I can do math. Alrighty. Hooray, we got a new badge too. Don't know what that's for. But we're gonna have to... Now this I know I did not... Yeah, these things are farming. Farming these are a pain. And I know I don't have enough of these. I know we're gonna get stopped somewhere along the line here. In fact, I also know I probably don't have enough cores, right? Yeah, cores. Oh, cores, man. The eternal pain. I even buy the... I have the... oh, what do you call it? The monthly pass or whatever, the battle pass. And they give you a bunch of cores in that, and I still am always never enough. That's mostly because I've been getting characters and doing like guides on every character. Like I said, so far the only character I've missed is Ulrid, and maybe if I have bad judgment later on in the month, maybe I'll grab her anyway. We'll see. We'll see how well my investments go. Yeah, so we need this one. Yeah, that's not happening. No way am I getting 100 of these. Actually, and we won't worry about it too much. We need to give her a weapon though. We'll give her this, and I thought I enhanced this, but I guess not. Man, unlocking badges left and right. What else we got to do? Oh, we got to do some dorm affection stuff. Man, put the knife down! Put the knife down! Where do we got gifts? Well, he says, to be fair, Global is not being treated badly in GFL2, even if it sucks to be behind. You are 100% right. They are doing a fantastic job running Global, and I just complain because I like to complain. But I still think they're doing a great job. I would like them to catch us up. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but, you know, maybe in the future. Oops, is this the right amount? Am I overcapping? Nope, this is math. Perfect amount. I don't have any dispatch boxes to open. I already opened them all. But we have tons of whatever the generic ones are. And I don't know why I'm holding on to these gold ones, only because you just can't get them very easily. Let's actually do this. Let's do that, and then let's go... Oh, I thought I had more of these than I did, but that's okay. I think we just want to get to level 3 for the breakpoint on attack. Yeah, would like to see them, so... Undam says, would like to see them drop units that have mod/expansion keys with the expansion key system available. Yeah, I agree with you. After looking at Deshevia and like realizing like how big of an impact that makes on like whether she's like kind of like quote worth it or not, it's a little it's a little disheartening to see that we gotta wait so long. Let's do 20 of these, and I don't know, a bunch of these. Maybe 20 of these, and then some of those. Bada bing, bada boom. Perfect min-max right there. Okay. Are the global banners slightly shorter than the China banner, or is it just my imagination? So I'm the same way. I thought they were shorter, but somebody told me that they're not. So they're 3 weeks apparently on ours and theirs, right? Like these are, I think, 3 weeks, right? A little less, actually. No, you're right. A little less than 3 weeks. Well, oh no, I lied, because this is Friday and this character came out yesterday. But yeah, so it's about 3 weeks, give or take. And I guess that's what they're doing on China. I don't know. I don't play on the Chinese server. I can't answer for you. Yeah, so Centaureissi and Deshevia, both of them have a pretty big, like, quality of life / boost in power from their keys. Like, Centaureissi, can I show it very well? Probably not. But her ult uses all 6 confectants, and you only get, in her original form that we have here on the global servers, she only gets confectants by doing her follow-up attacks, her action supports. So at most you can get 2 per turn, so that means you can only ult once every 3 turns, assuming you're getting every single action support. If you, like, position incorrectly and you miss one of them, like let's say your target's out of range, because I think these are only, they have a range on here. I think it's just their default range of 6 tiles, 7 tiles. I'm gonna go with 7 tiles is my guess. So if you position her and she misses a like 7 tile action support, then like, okay, now you've gone from a 3-turn ult to a 4-turn ult, and that really sucks. It really feels bad, especially when someone's about to die. Hello, Mr. Arlo King. Welcome to the stream. For people who are joining in, I'm sorry, but you just missed the gambling. I tried to stall as long as I could, but we grabbed Centaureissi at we did not win the 50-50, but we got an early 50-50, which was awesome. Speaking of which, this was one of the 50-50s, so we will begin on the quest here for segment 4. Segment 3 is the real breakpoint for her because of the overburn, but segment 4 is so nice. This vulnerability is fantastic for the frontline boss, if anyone does that. Or Gunsmoke frontline. Which, like I said, unfortunately I can't show the Gunsmoke frontline because it's not open. Yeah, this is like whatever. And then damage and... this one also kind of is really whatever. Yeah, losing to Changju is a win. Yes. If there's any character I would like to lose the 50-52, it's her. Even Tolol would not be bad because I also have a sneaking suspicion that Springfield is going to show up like a lot earlier than people assume. Like everyone's thinking, 1 year anniversary. I have a feeling she's going to show up at like the middle of summer. Like that's just my guess. So we'll see how much they turbo boost the storylines. Oh, which brings me perfectly to the next segue. Cafe. We're gonna. So for those of you who haven't done this yet, oh, we got a new face here. Hello. For those of you guys who haven't done this yet, this is the new event that's going on right now. It's pretty straightforward. What do we got? You just mix up some drinks here. So you do the supply missions, right? It's the same as normal. Which we have to do a couple more supply missions, which we'll do here in a second. So there's the main story, which is just, exactly what it sounds like. And then you do the supply missions 3 times a day, and you get a bunch of ingredients, which are these coffee beans and cloudberries. And then all you need to do is just make sure that you have, see, like right here, I'm throwing. My account is getting bricked as we speak because I'm not actually selling anything because I have nothing for sale. So what you do is after you've grabbed some supplies from the supply missions, you mix up as many drinks as possible, and you want to mix up the highest tier drink, which for me, it starts you off with only making these, so But then as you unlock better ones, right? See, sales income, you just want bigger number go up, you know? So you just make as many of those as you can, and the game will automatically start selling them for you. And then essentially you're just waiting, you know? So after an hour and a half, we'll run out of things to sell. But that's okay, because we got more of these too. Let's just make all of them for now, because I'm going to go and do the farming missions here in a second. And then it does the math for you. It calculates how many you're going to get over time. And you just kind of want these to always be selling something. So, you know, pop in earlier in the day, do the supply missions, just make as many of these as you can, and then, you know, log in, maybe check it out later on in the evening. And then also make sure you collect these guys in the first tab here, because as you collect these in the first tab, you will rank up the cafe. So you start at whatever, C rank, now I'm at C plus rank. So once we complete these missions, we will we'll get to the next tier. So they're mostly time gated. And then as the customers come in, they drop all of these wonderful little love notes to you. You pick them all up. This is kind of a cool little thing. So as you're supposed to match up 3 at a time. If you match up 3 of them, they'll change into the higher tier. But if you match up, let's see if I can do this. If you match up more than 3, so let's say here we're gonna match up 6 of them, or this is even more than that. 3, 6, 7, 8. Boom! You get a little bonus. Get some extra ones. So then you just kind of keep recombining these. Oop, don't click too fast. Game doesn't like that. Just keep recombining these. And you make higher and higher tier notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. We can make a high tier. There we go. And that's what this little mini game is. Later on, when you rank up all the way, you'll be able to get more supplies from it, from having bigger stickers. But yeah, you just want to combine 6 at a time. It's kind of a fun little mini game. But, you know, don't sweat it too much if you don't know how to count to 6 and you can't line them all up. So it probably won't matter, because there is a limit to how many you can get here. So, but this is a fun little cool mode, you know. Get to see some familiar faces stop by. You know, there's Springfield here. Hi Springfield. Yeah, we'll just go do war crimes, get coffee beans, sell coffee, repeat. Yeah, it's the life. It's the life in the year 2070 or 2084, 2074, whenever the game takes place. Hi, Diane. So, sometimes she gives you gifts. Earlier today, I stopped in and she gave me like 1,000 combat reports because, you know, she's just a nice person like that. So, yeah, this is kind of a fun little mini game. Okay, what else? I got a whole bunch of things. Oh, that's right. I was talking about the news on the Chinese server. Let's detour here for a moment, because there is a couple things I wanted to talk about for people who were not aware. Let's see if I can pull it up on my stream here. I'm gonna have to mute the sound because clicking off the game still takes away the sound. But I think, is it this one? Is this my tab? There we go. I think you guys can see this. So, CN announced new character, right? Niketa, which is VSK94 from GFL1. Interesting design decision. The doggo is awesome. This like robot dog thing is sick as hell. Yeah, I think I grabbed the. Is this the? Yeah, here. This is like a little like a little GIF of see the attack dog. Hell yeah, dude. The cyber dog. Dude, I'm all about this thing. This thing is so cool. She has a really interesting weapon too. I've always liked the VSK94. It's for those gun nerds out there. It shoots subsonic ammo, which is like kind of like weird, but it also is like super like. It's just like a very high like high weight bullet, so it excuse me, they use it in a lot of like really weird applications. Like it comes in like armor piercing too. So anyway, I'm getting really off topic here, but it's a really interesting gun and I've always really liked it. So, but the design decision they went with for this is well, most of it's good. The gun's awesome. I don't know what's going on with her shirt though. That's the part. I don't know what's happening with that. So, but she's supposed to be hydro damage, and she's obviously Sentinel, so she's gonna be a damage dealer. Very interesting character design. I'm excited. I'm hoping they're gonna do. I don't know anything about it because like I said, I don't play on the Chinese servers. But if they do a side story with her, kind of like they did with like Deshevia and whatnot, then maybe we can get lucky and have her come to the EN servers early, or the global servers, I should say. That would be cool. It'd be nice to experience like I said, a fresh out of the oven unit. So yeah, so she's like supposed to summon this dog. So I don't know if she's considered a summoner, but she's definitely. I think the dog is like actually active on the field, like Apasha's robot. So for Gunsmoke Frontline bosses, for like things that need to hit 6 targets, this would be another good unit for that. So she's interesting. Interesting character. Looking forward to her coming out. We'll see what she actually does. All I think they previewed was that she's hydro damage. They might have the kit out there somewhere, but I try not to look too much into. I'm in a weird spot, right? Like let me click so we can have some background noise so you don't have to just hear me breathing the whole time. I'm in a weird spot where it's like I want to cover the game for global only, but the problem is global is in like this weird Frankenstein state where it is missing a lot of the important context of what is happening on the Chinese servers. And I don't like talking about Chinese stuff early because we never know the order we're going to get it. I saw this happen in Project NeuroCloud. Like people were like advising others on like what order things were going to come in and like how they should plan out their character builds and their account, etc., etc. And they just threw a wrench in the whole thing. And they're kind of doing it now, right? Like HK416 or Klukai's coming out next character, so probably 3 weeks. So I'm in a really weird spot where it's like I want to cover these characters and I want to talk about even Centaureissi, right? Like I can't really talk about Centaureissi and ignore the fact that she has a mod key, a neural key that significantly changes the way she plays because it makes her go from a 3-turn alt to a 2-turn alt, and that is not like nothing. So it's like I said, I'm in a weird spot where it's like I don't want to cover the Chinese stuff because, like I said, who knows when we're gonna get it, and I also don't want to like blue balls people be like, oh look at this character VSK94, she's coming out soon, and then like we don't get her for a year, kind of like what's happening with Lena, right? Like I've been waiting patiently, I'm still waiting patiently for Lena, and I don't think she's coming out anytime soon now because she keeps getting pushed back further and further because they keep putting more and more units ahead of her. So yeah, I don't really like to cover the Chinese stuff, but I kind of have to because it's getting to the point now where it's like I can't really talk about anything without talking about without that. So okay, we're gonna tab back in. The other thing I want to cover for this though, this is the really interesting one, was that they're adding a new type of chip. Whatever. But they're adding a new type of chip. It's called the Fire Control Calibration Chip thingy, something like that. What this chip is going to do is it's similar to the precision boost chips that we currently have, but it's a little different. So if you look at the picture here, it's kind of hard to tell. But if you look at the second stat on the picture there, you'll see it's got the normal white bar, it's got the orange bar, and then it's got the green bar. The green is the stats that are being added by this new type of chip, this fire control chip. So there's essentially what this chip is going to allow you to do is to make a perfect attachment. No, see, Willie, this is the opposite. We're leaving attachment purgatory. We're going to attachment heaven. We can now finally custom make perfect attachments, right? So in the screenshot here, for example, what happens is when you start using them, if the initial stat, which is the white bar, if that is less than the maximum, which is that little white line denoted, that little like notch. If it's less than that, every chip you use is going to slowly bump up that white line until it meets the maximum pre-calibrated amount. And then from there, every chip you use after that increases the calibration without messing with any of the other stats. So let's say you calibrate the weapon, it's 150%. Every fire control chip that you use after that will bring it up to 160, 170, 180, etc., etc. So what that's going to let you do is, like I said, if you dump enough chips into an item, it's going to make a, quote, perfect attachment, right? You'll have full max base stats, and then you'll be able to eventually get it to 200% calibrated stats on every single one. Attack boost, crit and crit damage, for example, for this picture here. Which is fantastic. So like I said, we're finally leaving attachment purgatory. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because let me see if I can hide this window. It is this one. Okay, we're going to hop back in game real quick. So let me find someone with an attachment. She's going to need one, so I can do one example here. Not Hydro Boost. Do I have any that... I know I have some spare ones. Here we go. This one. So we'll equip this. So what this is going to do is it's going to actually make these chips that everyone says are garbage, these precision boost chips, these are going to become a lot more valuable, because one of the criteria is, in order to use these new fire control chips, all of the it has to have been calibrated at least once. So you can't like use it on a weapon like right here. Like, see how it's like got nothing? Can't do that. It's got to be calibrated at least once. But the other requirement is that the calibrations all have to be at least 100%. So this just got a lot more valuable. And this is why I wanted to talk about it, because this is relevant to us in the global servers right now. Because either you can start keeping this knowledge secret to yourself, or you can like hoard these chips for the future, because I have a feeling that they're going to be a lot more useful. Because normally right now the general suggestion is just hit the calibrate button a million times until you get a relatively bunch of good stats, right? And what happens is sometimes you get lucky, and I think my macchiato has a good example of this. And sometimes you just calibrate until, yeah, like this one's a pretty good example, right? I got a ton of calibration on the attack boost and the crit, and not so much on the attack, but that's okay because this stat's like whatever, right? I'd rather have a ton calibrated on attack boost. I could not use those chips to max this item out, and so I would have to keep recalibrating this item until all three of these stats hit at least 100. So to minimize the number of fire control chips that you're going to want to use, you're going to want to do a calibration on an item, try and give it as much stats from the calibration. So you're going to want all these orange bars to be like 150%, or more. And then you're going to want to, quote, top it off with the fire control chips. The problem is what happens when you roll like this, right? Where you get two really good stats, but the third one is bricked, right? Now, the answer to that is if you had used these, while they're, quote, inefficient from a money standpoint, if you had used these, what it does is it makes it so this attack could not be so low that you couldn't use the fire control chips. So by doing this process with the precision boost chips, you're going to gamble and hope to get two really high stats, and it's going to be like a safety net to prevent you from dipping so low in one of the other stats that you can't calibrate it with the new fire control chips. So it'll make these more valuable. It'll allow you to max out items very easily, because I'll do it right now on Centaureissi here. See if I can illustrate my point, because I know I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it, because it's kind of hard to explain. But so the general consensus right now is just do a bunch of normal calibrations, right? Just try and get all these lucky. Like, see here, like this is bleh. Crit rate 20%. This is garbage, but these ones are fine. So like in this situation, I couldn't use the new chips on this, but that's okay, because right now we don't really have a choice. So we just keep hitting this, and we just hope that these other two stats stay good, and this one goes up. This was horrible. We're not going to do that. And so that's the idea, is you just keep hitting this until eventually you just, quote, get lucky. And like this, exactly like this, right? You just hope to get lucky like this and all your stats are above like 150%, and then you just call it a day, right? Now, the problem was, like I said, if one of those stats, like let's say attack and attack boost, had been exactly what they are, but crit rate was too low, well, then I would be screwed. But right now I got lucky, and like I said, now I could just, when these fire control chips, for example, came to our server, I could just top this weapon off and have a, quote, perfect attachments. So, but by using these precision boost chips here, and in fact, I'll just do one just for, I know I'm not going to get better than this, but whatever, I'm going to do it for science to show this to you guys. Like, for example, these first two ones, 120%, that would be okay. But like this one probably tried to dip way below 100%. It probably dipped to like probably 50%. And the chip that I had just used, the precision boost chip, prevented it from going lower than 100. So even if I rolled these stats, I could still use the new fire control chip to calibrate it. So hopefully I've explained that in a semi-logical way. I probably didn't. In fact, I'm more confused now than when I started, but hopefully you get the idea. So Willie's asking, is the new chip on the battle pass, or is it doled out with doses each patch? No idea. I don't think they really said. That's the thing, is those, I do expect those fire control chips to be semi-rare. You're going to need a decent amount of them to max out an attachment. And, you know, there's like I would imagine you probably need about 20 of them to max out like a barrel attachment. But then there's also 3 other attachments on the weapon, so then you probably need like 15 for each of those. So you'll need a decent amount of them to, quote, like make perfect attachments for a weapon. So it'll take a while, but I also expect them to be rare enough that you're just not going to want to throw them away like I did a second ago there with the precision boost chips. So that's why I'm saying, like, you probably want to try and get as close as you can to max stats before you start using the fire control chips. So that was everyone's little warning for the future. You either want to start saving your precision boost chips, or you want to use them on items that you're going to turn into perfect calibrated weapons or stats. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover from the Chinese version of the news. Wow. We went, oh my gosh, we're almost at an hour. How'd I know this was going to happen? Gambling and talking. Not a good combo. Let's go ahead. I'll go for a little longer tonight, right? Like, this is a free country. I can do whatever I want. There's no rule that says these can't go past an hour, so. Do you guys think if I just hit auto that let's see, eliminate machine guns, win? Yeah, I think the game can figure this out. These guys are like really low level. Yeah, 39, here. Jesus, take the wheel. So we're just going to let the AI do its thing. And I'm probably just going to talk. So, like I said, the next big thing that's going to be happening is... so in the next... I think next week's episode, I'm going to tackle the new expansion drill, or whatever it's called. I know there's a new boss for it that we haven't seen in the game yet, so I kind of spoiled myself. I saw a little infograph on how to fight it. So I won't be going in blind, unfortunately, but we'll probably do that on stream next week. But yeah, the next big thing after that is going to be 416's coming out. That I'm not looking forward to, because that's going to be a disaster, dude. I've already seen 1,000,001 people like asking the question, you know, segment 3, segment 6, blah blah blah. It's just, the arguing is getting out of control. I am really not looking forward to having to make a guide for that, because there's no way I can make a guide for her and not touch on that topic, and I also like really don't want to wade into that discussion, because so on this channel, my idea for this channel and the guides were that, let's see, need to check here to make sure auto battle's not cucking me. All right, there we go. Within 5 turns, we're good. I want to just make guides for the characters, whether the characters are good or not, meta or not, you know, whatever. Like, for example, I'm going to make the Centaureissi video later today, maybe tomorrow, like the quick 5-minute guide for her. And I don't really want to wade in my opinion on whether you should pull for a character or not. I want to, like, present, like, what a character's good at, what they can do, you know, how to utilize them correctly. And then you can make the decision whether you want the character or not. I don't... Because for everybody, it's different, right? Like, for me, I buy the monthly Collapse Peace Pass, whatever it's called, the monthly pass, and then I buy the Battle Pass, right? A lot of people don't even buy those. So if you're purely free to play, it's you know, the suggestions on, like, what you can, quote, afford are going to be very different from, like, someone like me. And then there's, like, people who are willing to throw, like, maybe they buy the $50 gem package or the $100 gem package. And they want to, you know, they just get the character. And they want to know, like, you know, should I get segment 1 or not? So, you know, it's really hard. And like I said, it's different for every person. And I don't want to make assumptions on, like, what, like, because I'm pretty frugal with my money. I don't like just, like, throwing. I've never whaled on a game. I'm never going to ever have a segment 6 character. That's just how it is. So I don't want to be giving advice on, like, whether you should or shouldn't, like, pull on a character, if that makes sense. Well, he says GFL2 crash out season, only the strong and the autistic will remain. Oh god, yeah, that's not exactly wrong. Yeah, it's gonna be a shit show, dude. It already is a shit show. Somebody linked me because they were asking about it already, and they linked me some thread on Reddit, which, oh god, Reddit. They linked me a thread on Reddit where they were discussing the segment 3 versus segment 6 versus segment 0 Klukai, and I'm like, oh my god. I started reading through it. I almost just died on the inside reading through it because, like, just the arguing about, I don't know, man. People get really caught up on certain things, and, like, they totally ignore other. Okay, so for example, the whole discussion of that thread is about the premise of whether you should get it, because literally the only thing that it really matters for is Gunsmoke Frontline, right? Because it's like, at segment 0, she's gonna wipe the floor in AoE, hands down. Doesn't matter what content it is. The only time it really matters for segment 3 or segment 6 is, like, when you're trying to single target, which, and the only time it matters when you single target is for Gunsmoke Frontline. So, you know, it's like, okay, well, what if you're in a platoon that, like, is not super try hard? Like, okay, then it doesn't matter if you get good on Gunsmoke Frontline or not. You know, like, only if you're trying to, like, place in the top 100. And then, to be honest, instead of worrying about getting segment 3 or segment 6, I would more worried about making sure that everyone in your platoon is actually, like, showing up and doing the maximum amount they can, right? That's just my opinion. So the clanky noises that the Deshevia makes when she runs is really funny. Yeah, it kind of is like kapapapapap. Arlo's saying, when I only really looked up guides when I already rolled for the characters and just curious about the characters kit. Yeah, that's 100% the people that I want to make guides for, right? I don't want to make a guide and be like, okay, this is the character's damage output. They're good, they're bad, they're mid tier, they're whatever, S tier, and you should get them or not. Like, I just want to make a guide for the character, be like, hey, if you have this character, this is a good way to do it. And then everyone else can figure out where they fall, right? You know, because there's going to be some people that really want a specific character, even if they're not good. Like, hey, I'm raising my hand. I'm going to grab Lena. I might even grab segment 1 for Lena, because that changes a lot, like, how she plays. But I might even grab segment 1 for Lena, and I'm going to grab her weapon too. Is she good? Not really. Like, she's pretty good, like, for normal content, but is she good for Gunsmoke Frontline, which is, like, the only real content? No, not really. You're not going to see her topping any charts, but, like, I don't care. I like her, so I'm going to grab her. You know, and, like, you know, if you get a character, you just want to know how to use them. Centaureissi is a perfect example here. Like, I know a lot of people just like the character, you know, myself included, so they just want to know how to use her. That was my big, long-winded rant. Sorry you had to listen through that. But let's mix some drinks here. What do we? Can we restock some of these? Yeah. Get some more of those, and let's. I don't know, cause server will reset. That's a tomorrow problem. See? Oh my goodness! Look at this. I have all these. I didn't even buy stuff, guys. Look at this. We had more tickets the whole time. All right. Let's grab these. We'll do a little bonus gambling. I think there's some more here. Yeah. I personally could wait, but I know y'all are gambling fiends and you need your fix. Really, what I'm eyeballing is this this info core right here. This is. Ooh, what's up, girl? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? But I know you guys, you know, you gotta give the people what they want, and the people want to see gambling.
Centaureissi, tadaima mairimashita. Honjitsu no kocha wa ikaga nasaimasu ka?
Well, he says if you're not a dolphin, which in his opinion is $50 a month or more in GFL2, you have no business looking beyond segment 0. Even then, only a select few dollars. Yeah, you could probably get away with it even less than $50 a month. Like I said, I think I'm way below the $50 a month point, and I've gotten almost every character except Ulrid. And to be fair, I could grab Ulrid right now, but it's just, you're right. You probably don't want to start, because once you start taking into consideration weapons and stuff, that's another thing. It's like if you're also going to get their signature weapon, then you start to get into real spicy territory. Because if you lose a gamble on one of these, right, like you could be out essentially 100 pulls to get the weapon. If you lose the 75-25, that feels real bad. It does happen. So okay, all right, so we're gonna do 5. We'll do 5 on Ulrid. We'll give her a redemption shot here, because then we'll be at a nice even 70, which will make further pulls easy. Yeah, just gamble and win, right? Easy. I keep trying to click on the side there and it won't let me. Any one of these could be, you know, could be it. I've already forgot. I think we lost the 50-50. So yeah, if we do get lucky, it is guaranteed. All right, guys. It's the last chance. Nope, nothing. Wah, wah. I have to show self-control. While I could go deeper, I'm not going to, because oh well. I'll just grab around the rerun in question mark days. We'll try and get this one to nice even. Yeah, well, whatever. We'll just use the rest of them. Like I said, I know that people want to see more gambling. Although this is hardly that interesting doing single pulls like this. I play gacha games regularly for 4 years now. GFL2 is the first game that made me lose the free-to-play status. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Thank you for supporting the servers. I'm kind of like you. I bought the gem packages and stuff in GFL1 and in Project NeuroCloud, so I don't spend money in any of the other. I mean, if people who've listened before know that I'm also a shill, and I play Honkai Star Rail. So, but I've not given them a single penny because I think Hoyoverse has got enough money as it is. I don't think they need any money from me. But you know, GFL2, I'm happy to support them because, you know, small indie company, bro. I think we've tapped out. Oh yeah, that's right. We were gonna get a weapon. Yeah, Willie's like a weapon can cost us just as much as a doll. Yeah, you got to be careful with that, especially since in this game the weapons don't do a ton. In other gotchas, sometimes the weapons and the signature like custom stuff has like a relatively decent impact on how they play. I'm trying to think of an example. I mean, sometimes it's just simple, like bigger number go up, right? Like in Honkai Star Rail, there's a lot of like signature light cones, which are the equivalents of weapons in that game, that just, you know, whatever, it puts like a 10% vulnerability on the boss, and essentially, okay, it just means, hey, you do more damage. But sometimes there's light cones that like do extra status things. Oh, I'm thinking of one of the newer characters that just got released, Herta. Her light cone gives you like a skill point, which is like kind of like Confectance points in this game. So whenever she like uses her alt, she gets a couple like refunds on her skill points. So that like makes a big deal, you know, in how the character plays. But in this game, I haven't seen any of the weapons that really jump out to me as like this really changes how the character plays. A lot of it is just like, here's like a custom made buff for them. So yeah, Sunday's light cone does the same thing. It's like whatever, when he uses his ability, he gets like skill points back, which, like I said, significantly changes like the number of times you can use his ability in a fight. So Willie, I like my, referring to me, I like my yapping. No one in real life talk about GFL. Yeah, it's funny. If you have games, like I said, if you're a fan of like the popular games, there's a million people to talk about either online or in real life. Because there's a decent chance that one of your friends that you know in real life has played the award-winning game Genshin Impact. But if you say, hey, have you heard about this game called Exilium or Girls Frontline? The name also is very off-putting, right? Girls Frontline is like not really something you wanna, it's not really a conversation starter. But yeah, it's like the chances of somebody playing that game is like real low. Like if so I live in the Midwest and there's a big anime convention. There's a couple big anime conventions that happen by me, and I go to them, and it's like, despite it being an anime convention and there's like tons of weebs everywhere, the chance that you bump into a weeb that knows about or plays GFL is like really small. Even if there's like 60,000 people at the convention, like sure, you'll see, except the artist alley, you go to the artist alley, there'll be Genshin Impact, like custom artwork freaking for miles, dude. Every kind of weird fetish you could possibly imagine. But then it's like, you know, you look for like GFL and it's like a ghost town. So I'm glad my yapping entertains you, Willie. Okay, I think we're gonna grab the Samosek only because I am a simp for Nemesis. And I want big number go up. I want to flex that CE score, and I think it is just a straight increase. Can I see here? This is 300, about 330, and then 15% attack boost versus. I think I can look at it here, right? Spin index. Yeah, okay, so 330 versus 380. Well, 15% of 330 is less than 380, I'm pretty sure, or very close to it. So essentially, this is just a free 25% damage from crit damage. The phase damage is not bad. She can't utilize the second half of it. Mostly, I just need an extra sniper rifle, because also Deshevia could use an upgrade. Deshevia is using the hand-me-down. You're asking if I was talking about GFL1? Yeah, for like at least is like anime conventions and stuff, like popularity wise, like GFL1 is like non-existent. Don't even mention Project NeuroCloud, like that one's not even a real game. That's just a figment of our imaginations. GFL2 might be kind of popular, right? Like this game has gotten a lot more traction. So I originally started streaming for this game when the game came out, and I didn't really want to because I didn't ever really consider myself a content creator or a streamer, but I figured my original assumption was that this game is going to be fun and good because I've been keeping up on it, and I, you know, obviously I really like the intellectual property, and I figured what would happen is that the game would go underappreciated by the masses, and there'd be nobody making guides, and it would just kind of be a ghost town. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I figured I would start making guides and doing streams for the game. But to my pleasant surprise, the game has actually been very popular. So, you know, Global seems to be doing really well. They're making a ton of money. You know, the future looks really bright. So I'm really happy about that. Like, I'm not the only one making guides. You know, there's probably people making a lot better guides than me, too. I haven't been keeping up on what other people are doing. I probably should, though. I keep getting distracted talking. But we're going to grab the Samosek here. And I am just now also realizing that I would like to get one of these one day, but Pretia, I'm sorry, Pretia. You're on the back burner. Yeah, I need the Samosek. But I'm also realizing now that I don't have enough weapon combat reports to level this. Right, if I... Oh yeah, dude, not even close. I have 60 out of 600,000, yeah. So that's, okay, well. Such an ugly, this is ugly ass gun, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really like the original Mosin Nagant. Yeah, she'll be able to switch to this one. Somebody's gonna get the new one. I think what's gonna happen is Samosek's gonna go to Nemesis, and then Nemesis's Arcana is gonna get handed down to Deshevia. Just for flexing purposes, really. Wow, that was a refreshing drink. Well, what else? I can't really... Like I said, I wanted to do Gunsmoke Frontline, but I can't do that because that's not open for another day. I think we're just going to wind down the stream. This really hurts. I kind of wanted to do some content. Maybe we can do... Let's do an expansion drill. Let's just do an experiment here. I wonder if the AI is smart enough to scoop me up all these rewards without me having to try. Eliminate 3 within 1 turn. Yeah, AI should be able to handle that. So we got Diane. Where is the up part? There. Okay, so we want... She's not going to get up in 1 turn. I don't know if I want Chongju. There is a decent amount of fire. And Deshevia, yeah, sure. I'd use Centaureissi, but she's right now not completely built yet. I know I said that was the whole point of this stream, is that I was going to get her ready to go, but I need to farm, and I need to do math better. So we're just going to do this, and I'm going to hit the auto button. We're going to see what happens. We're just going to talk. The unholy trinity of anime waifus, feet, and guns. Oh, God. Yeah, technically. I actually wish they would tone down the, How did she not kill him with that? Oh, because these were the... Those were the preemptive follow-up attacks. Yeah, I'm not really... I wish they would actually tone down the feet and the lewd skins just a little bit. More tactical, please. Like I said, I don't mind that they have some. I understand, you know, they do a little bit of everything for everybody, but, like, you know... I don't want this to be one of those games where it's like you're just embarrassed to play it in a public setting. Like, you just can't even open up the game because it's, like, a little too inappropriate. You're asking about, so since I play HSR, have you considered making character guides as well? No, I have not in the slightest, because HSR has 1,000,000,001 content creators out there, and they don't need me. And I would get zero traction in that game as well. I never did this because I wanted to get internet famous, and I don't want to like make money off my YouTube channel or anything. I just want to do it for the fun of doing it. And I would never be able to compete with the clickbait that goes on with like Honkai Star Rail stuff. Every single time, it's actually kind of annoying to even look stuff up for that game, because anytime I look up stuff for that game, it's like just I have to wade through like quicksand, like just tons of clickbait. Like, it's just gross. It's combat, or that's a topic for a different day though. I know the AI is not smart enough to push the pillars over. If you're talking about the mission objectives, I didn't see any mission objectives about. Yeah, I don't need to do that. You must be thinking of either a different mission or something else. See, I think you could play this game in its original form in public, right? Like, there's nothing that's like too ridiculous. Okay, maybe this is. If you switch her back to the normal, like that's not ridiculous. This is socially acceptable. You know, none of this is too out of line. But then if you start like getting into like the alternate costumes, then things get. So this is very normal. I wish they would do this for everybody. Everybody should get a technical skin like this. But who am I? Who am I to oops. Who am I to demand things from Mega Team? So yeah, that's my problem is like, so this game, he's saying this game is relatively modest when you compare it to Snowbreak and Nike, or Nikkei as they call it. Yes, you're correct, but we're not aiming for the bottom. We're not trying to be the most, the most lewd like one out there, right? Because it's a fine line, right? Like, you want to, if you're gonna have some fan service in your game, that's like understandable, especially in the anime genre. But like, if you start going in that direction too often, that ends up being the only thing in your game. And the problem is, it puts a lot of people off. While the people that really like that stuff, I believe the term is the Coomers, as the Coomers really like that kind of stuff, the problem is a lot of other people don't. And if you go too far in one direction with it, you push a lot of people away from your game that would actually probably really like it. Right? I mean, you already kind of have this problem a little bit with the game. You have the game's called Girls Frontline, right? Like, the name immediately is going to put some people off, right? Unless you're like hardcore weeb. So like, just your average Joe Schmo would like hear that name and they'd be like, okay, what the hell is this about? So yeah, and like I said, the more and more like lewd and inappropriate you get, like the more that becomes the main focus of your game. And while those people will buy a ton of skins, like those people will invest a lot of money in your game, the problem is they become not just your core audience, they become your only audience. And then you just have to cater to them harder and harder and harder. And then as you do that, everybody else leaves. And so then you're left with this one group of people that only have one thing that they care about. And if you don't cater to it, they leave. And it's like, okay, well, then you have to like essentially develop your game based around that. It just becomes very limiting, and it's just not good. And I know that the Yuzong has said in the past that he wants the IP for this game to kind of like be like a multi-game like universe, right? He doesn't want it to just be like a one-off thing. And it's like, if you're gonna create like a brand like that, like you gotta tone it down a little bit. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Snowbreak. Well, he says, I played Snowbreak on launch. It lacked good gameplay hook, and eventually it's going to become Azure Lane 2.0. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know anything about that game because I never really looked into it, but I saw one little clip of something. I think it was like some New Year's skin or something like that, and it was like literally like the promo video for it was like, I guess it was supposed to be like the point of view of the commander. I don't know, whatever the main character is called in that game. And it was like literally like you're like in bed with two waifus and like they're just like fawning over you. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, this is like official, like this is the official promo video. I'm like, this is just like a virtual sex game. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I'm sure that's not exactly what it was, but like that was the impression that I got. And I'm just like, yo, dude, yo, calm down. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. Okay, guys, we are at an hour and like almost an hour and a half, and I've done nothing of real import besides just talk and give my really crappy opinions on everything, which I appreciate you all listening to them and not jumping down my throat. So I hope you all, I think we're going to, like I said, we're going to probably end it here for today. I'm going to try and get the Centaureissi guide, like at least the impressions, maybe even the 5-minute guide out over this weekend. I'm going to really try and crank through it. I don't think I'm going to do any other streams. I really wanted to do like a stream earlier in the week, but I had to control myself because I didn't want to like burn up all the content that we had and have nothing to do with tonight. So I think we're just going to leave it at there. I'm going to make this the 5-minute guide, so look forward to that. For all of you who are saving up for HK416, good luck. Keep saving, you know, soon doomsday is upon us. Yeah. With that, we're gonna close it out. So thanks everyone for coming. We're gonna, like I said, if anything comes up, I'll post it on the channel, and you know, ado palitas, my fellow initiates. Until next time at our next meeting.